Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. Today I'm gonna make a video about more mental health than recovery. So if you're interested in that, stick with the video. And for any new people, hello, my name is Chill. I'm 26 years old. I live in Switzerland, and yeah, a few years ago I recovered successfully from an eating disorder, and yeah, kind of since recovery, I'm sharing videos on this channel mainly about eating disorder topics. But yeah, the last few weeks I've been feeling really weird and exhausted. And I think the last few days it's becoming more and more clear what the problem is. And also, it's become kind of an extreme, when you get sick and it's kind of your body telling you to take a break, just pause, and yeah, take time for yourself. And I think that's what happened to me, because on Wednesday I got a really weird stomach ache, and at first I thought it was some bug, like some sickness, some germ, I don't know. But it ended up being really weird sickness that just was me being super exhausted, and it got a lot better after some time. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't like a typical, I don't know, flu or thing like that. And in retrospect, yeah, it's definitely kind of the stress of the past weeks and months even. And it has led me to think a little bit more about what the problem of my current setup is, and what I have to change. And yeah, so let's start. When I was a teenager, I was always a lot into Harry Potter. Maybe you can see my Harry Potter obsession. I was a kid that spent a ton of time dreaming, fantasizing, reading, drawing, reading fan fictions, and like everything that was somehow in a fantasy world. Yeah, it was just part of me. Like, some kids go out and play and do things like that when they're by themselves playing. For me, it was always me being inside and yeah, playing in my head, I guess, reading and discovering new worlds and stuff like that. And since becoming kind of an adult, having responsibilities, I really unlearned just playing and being unproductive. Especially since I moved out, I really stopped being with myself, my thoughts, and doing fun things, really. Um, and then, it got worse when I moved out, and it got even worse once I started working 100%. Since then, every single minute in my day has to be somewhat productive. And if it's not productive, I'm on my phone. That's kind of how I split it. Like, all day long, I'm like commuting, working, commuting, maybe doing a workout, then cooking, and then going to bed, or like doing laundry. Then on the weekends, again, like laundry, vacuuming, or like spending time with other people, but often still it's like with other people and making them happy. And yeah, I kind of like unlearned to just play and be with my thoughts. And honestly, like, looking back, I really have to change something. First of all, just take more time for myself. And once I have time for myself, not just be on my phone or do something productive, because now when I have an evening for myself, I usually use it to do a workout or do some household stuff. But really, like, take an evening and read a good book that is not about self-development, but just about some cool story or something like that. Yeah, I really have to change and go back into what really fulfills me and my inner child. And so yeah, for that I really want to do a little challenge for myself for the next few months, and I want to give you like monthly updates on that. And the first rule that I have thought of is no social media when I'm at home, except for maybe like watching YouTube on the TV or something like that, but really no social media on my phone. And I'm gonna write it down properly on a nice little post-it. No social media at home. And why I do it like that is simply because I don't like, I tried already to do like no social media at all and stuff like that, but I never committed to it 100%. So for me, I still have to have social media in my life somehow. But like I'm not really on my phone a lot when I'm at work or like with people or something like that. When I struggle with it is when I'm at home. Like when I'm at home, I'm on my phone 24/7, and it's really embarrassing, but yeah, that's just the truth. Everyone has different problems. My problem is being on my phone all the time when I'm at home. So my thought is that I can simply not be on my phone at home, and that way free up a lot of great time for, like, for example, before sleeping usually I'm on my phone, and now when I go to bed, which I also think is gonna be earlier because I cannot waste my time on my phone, I can simply read a book if I'm not tired yet. Problem solved. Instead of wasting my time on Instagram. And then other things are like when I'm like, also I spend a lot of time on my phone when I'm in the bathroom, like removing makeup and stuff like that. And I think actually those times are great for reflecting. And so instead of being on social media, I can just take time to reflect, listening to music or something like that, and not waste my mental energy on some random YouTube videos that I actually don't really care about, and they get so boring to me, but I just watch them because I'm addicted. And yeah, I think that rule really will make a big difference for me, so it's definitely my first rule. And then the second rule, which sounds maybe weird for some people, but it's to have like one evening just to chill per week. So one evening per week just to chill. And with that I mean not doing any housework except maybe cook, because yeah, I have to cook if I want to eat. Not, what do I want to say, not work out, just like come home and like do whatever I want, except for social media, of course. Because right now I struggle that I never want to disappoint people, and I always like book every free evening that I have. I book for like some people that want to meet me, and then every other evening that I have free, I'm gonna book for my workouts, which is like 2 or 3 times a week. And so I end up being so stressed. I cannot spend any time with my boyfriend, my poor boyfriend, and I'm just like always doing something in the evenings. And if I have one evening just to chill, I can really go like on a walk or do some art or just read or go to bed early, or you know, just do things that I really want to do. And I think that's gonna be super helpful for me. Ideally I would do it on Wednesday, like middle of the week, and I can just, you know, do something fun and like fill up my energy. So yeah, those are kind of the 2 rules I set for myself, because I noticed that I'm too much of an adult with responsibilities without any actual passions. I have so many things that I would like to do, but in the end, instead of doing the thing that would maybe fill up my true energy or, you know, make me happy in a way that it did when I was a child, I always choose to do something productive. And I really want to get over that, because long term that's not productive at all. I noticed it in the past weeks that I really was very down, and I still get very emotional talking about it, like always, or whenever someone asks me how I am, I feel like the tears coming up to my eyes and I really have to breathe. But yeah, it's something that I think most adults stop doing once they move out, have full-time jobs and stuff like that. It's just a difficult world, I think, that we live in, where back in the days, I don't want to say it was better, not at all, and I'm like the most feminist person ever, but the difference was that back in the days, usually, I know it wasn't for all families, but I think most families had like one person, usually the woman, that really took care of the household, the children, and it is a full-time job. And the other person was like working for payment, also full-time. So in the end, you had like 2 full-time jobs, and I don't have any children, so it wouldn't be 2 full-time jobs. But my boyfriend and I both work full-time, and then on the weekends we just have to spend a lot of time on household things, especially because we live in a big apartment. It's a never-ending to-do list of things we could improve and clean and wash and whatever, because yeah, it's a huge apartment meant for a family. We only live here because it belongs to his parents and they want to have someone living here that they know, so we were kind of the choice, because there is not a family that could live here. But anyway, so I feel like because of that, because both of us work full-time, both of us also have to take care of the household, and then both of us also have social contacts and like hobbies or like sports. In the end, there's so little time to just spend on being and doing your passions that, I don't know. I think that's kind of a challenge that we have as a society, and in order to kind of suppress that, a lot of us have some type of addiction. For me, it's for sure social media. Yeah, I have a big problem with that. For others, it might be like shopping addiction, or I don't know, drugs or whatever. I also am quite addicted to caffeine, but at the same time, I feel like I don't really notice it. I don't know. But anyway, what I want to say is that, yeah, planning time for yourself that is not productive is really, really challenging for me, because I also am a big people pleaser. So yeah, if I know, okay, Wednesday I don't have anything to do, but my grandma really is waiting on a visit, how am I gonna enjoy like this Wednesday evening if I know like my grandma, yeah, is lonely at her home, you know? And so I always end up doing things for other people, even though I really need to fill my own cup at the same time. Yeah, I don't know, it's very challenging for me, and just for myself, I want to kind of keep you guys updated on how it went with my 2 rules. And yeah, I hope you could take something from this video, and what I really urge you to do is kind of identify things in your life that could really make more time or free up time and energy for yourself, that you can spend on yourself, your passions, things that really fill your cup. Yeah, really try to identify those and then set like some rules that could help you get there. Like for me, those 2 things are like so challenging. And also, by the way, today is Saturday. It's 4:15 p.m. and I haven't used social media at all today, except for maybe like Snapchat. And I feel amazing. It's really so great to just have time for other things other than social media. So yeah, I'm already so stoked to see how it goes, this challenge. And yeah, I wish you a lovely day, and I see you the next time. Bye!